go, and now the chase is on. Women's Concacaf Gold Cup pursuit is now officially underway tonight as we have a burst of teams going to get things underway. This is League C, Group A. Turks and Caicos will square off with Bonaire. Good evening to all of you, wherever you may be. I'm David Gascon. Thanks for joining us tonight on a wonderful Thursday night. Ready to get this thing underway. An inaugural commencement for the Women's Gold Cup. Concacaf action bringing you all kinds of activity, not only this weekend, but also in weeks to come as well. As we mentioned, it was announced a couple months ago, in fact, all the way back in March, about how things were going to be broken down with a bunch of teams, preliminary rounds, a group of 12. As you see the breakdown here, League C, Group A, and how this is going to be broken down, there's multiple leagues that will have 4 teams in group play. Others will have 3 teams. Fortunate enough for both these squads here tonight, Turks and Caicos Island and also Bonaire, they'll get the crack at a couple teams throughout their group play. Meanwhile, with all that being said, a couple other squads around the world will also be playing, but they'll have the dimensions broken up a little bit. So what we're going to have in terms of activity in this tournament round, it's full 90. There will not be overtime. They'll not be decided with an extra session or 2. No penalties to decide anything. It's all about getting points, whether it's wins or obviously draws. And the most important thing is to stave off any kind of losses as you get the season along. Meanwhile, when this was announced, they broke things down, did CONCACAF. The Women's Gold Cup will be played from February 17th to March the 10th in 2024. All that action will take place in the United States, so you can mark your calendars. And if you want to do a little bit of booking for travel purposes, you can also do that as well. Now, how things will be broken down with CONCACAF and the Women's Gold Cup, first inaugural pursuit of all of this, so it's nice to see how things will be broken down. But League A is going to have 9 of the top-ranked teams divided into 3 different groups, 3 teams each. League B, next 12 best teams will be divided into 3 groups of 4 teams. And then League C, with where we're at right now, this is the lowest ranked 12 teams divided into 3 different groups. Those will have 4 teams as well. So you have the mappings, you get an idea of how things will be shaken out from where we're at right now to also what we're going to get into 2024, but no reason to rush us, right? As far as the activity goes here, not only tonight, but also tomorrow, we got a handful of games, 4 of them today, 5 of them tomorrow, and then both these teams will also get back at it next week as well. Turks and Caicos Island will be playing Aruba. Bonaire will also square off with Belize as well. Both teams were out here several minutes ago warming up, getting their legs loose, and they're ready to get this thing underway, and so are we. So it'll be interesting to see with the CONCACAF tournament and how things are broken down, how each manager will dictate how they're going to play their style here tonight, because you think about it, when you're in group competition, you have a short margin of error. Anything that can go against you, that certainly does, could be detrimental in terms of your pursuit and your hopes of advancing. So you think about what happens here tonight with Bonaire and also Turks and Caicos. You want to get off to a good start fast and make sure you don't leave any other stone unturned. Temperatures tonight about 86 degrees, so it's going to be a comfortable night. Don't think they'll have too many stalls, and what I mean by that is players going down with cramps, walking around a little bit, nursing any kind of injuries, or maybe just taking some time for a refresher. I think with the setting here tonight, you get a nice little cool breeze, but at 86 degrees, it's a perfect night for football, and we should have a fantastic start here in 2023. Bunch of games that have already been played. We can go up and down the scoreboard, but we won't do that right now for the time being. And how this will be laid out with CONCACAF is we'll have starters that will be introduced here in just a couple minutes. Then we'll roll into our regular first half worth of action. And when you do hang out with us at the end of the first half, we'll also have some stats. We'll have some highlights. We'll have a little bit of game analysis. Nothing wrong with that. And then also we'll take a peek once this match concludes. Full-time stats, full-time highlights. We'll say goodbye to you and then get you a little bit of an idea of how things will unfold, not only for these 2 teams here tonight, but for the rest of the women that are competing in the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup pursuit. See the teams right now lining up on both sides. Turks and Caicos will be on the left-hand side. Bonaire will be sporting their white uniforms this evening. The white kits look fantastic, the tops, the bottoms, and also the socks. Turks and Caicos will go with the aqua colors, dark tops and also dark bottoms. So we get everyone ready to get this thing underway, and of course, certainly we are as well too. It is nice though how this was announced back in March. The idea, the thought of it was certainly here. Concacaf has been in full throttle for the men from March all the way to now. And now the officials, the players, laying out right now, and the reason why is because we're going to have some national anthems. Look at a match to be played. Starting 11 and first touch right around the corner. We'll be back. So 2023 road to the Concacaf Women's Gold Cup. 35 teams in total. 33 will be participating. You see the officials here tonight. Alex Spilleater is a leader right now amongst all four officials. You know, Stephanie 14, AR1, Tiffany Turpin, AR2, and Janeshka Cabin is our fourth official. Turks and Caicos in their dark kits, the aqua, the dark gray. Bonaire in the white kits here tonight. White tops, the white bottoms, and also the red on the letters and also the numbers as well. So we'll take a peek at the starters for both these squads. Again, 35 teams competing overall. 33 of them will be from the national programs. As you see, Bonaire, their starters from top to bottom. Rose Engelhart will be in net here tonight. It'll be interesting, too, because with how League C Group A is broken down, you have 4 teams that will be competing in this. And so for Bonaire and also Turks and Caicos, you lose here tonight, it's not the end of the world. If you had 3 teams, it'd be a completely different dimension. But those are the starters here tonight for Bonaire. Turks and Caicos on the other side of things, the deployment here tonight. And Jody Harvey will be wearing the captain's badge around her arm here this evening. We'll get a handful of substitutions for both of these sides. So I'll be rather curious to see how this match plays out, not only from start to finish, but everything in between, because you want to make sure you're getting any kind of points. You want to make sure you avoid losses any way that you can. Loss won't be detrimental, but you getting yourself a couple wins in group play, you get off to a great start. This contest is now officially underway. Bonaire moving from left to right. Turks and Caicos, they'll be moving from right to left. We'll have two halves, 45 minutes apiece. No overtime, in case you're curious, so no extra time that will be allotted for either squad. These things will be decided in full time, and if they're not, they'll have a draw for each team. A little bit different once you get into standard league play, but the national programs here in Concacaf, completely different, and that's how things will be divvied up here in 2023 as we make our way into the brand new year. So again, with League A, you have 9 teams that will be competing, the top-ranked teams around the world. Next 12 will be in League B, and then right now with what we have here in League C, I don't want to say it's the bottom feeders because that's completely disrespectful, but this is just the lower-ranked teams amongst the 12 that we have for the time being. We'll just with that touch. Should be in the middle of the pitch here tonight. Look like a 3-3-4 that'll be set up here this evening for Bonaire. A couple players that were lined up as well. Lujas was looking for it inside the 18. And this will be a throw-in for Bonaire. We'll have stats and highlights throughout the night, so make sure you stay with us at the end of the first half. And even in post-game as well. Take a look at the victors, the losers, if there is one. And also a woman of the match. Should we have any remarkable outcome? Of course, that also depends on the keepers in between the pipes. Rose Engelhart and Aradana Ortiz. Terrence DeGosta Gomez, the head coach for Bonaire. Aaron Lawrence for Turks and Caicos Island. Forbes with the intercept there. And gave him right back to Molina. Molina trying to push it out wide. Just a little bit too much steam on that pass. Unforced there, and to go back to Turks and Caicos. Emra Enciana wearing the captain's badge here tonight around her right arm. Match just underway as we're in the 3rd minute. No shots just yet. No real attempt either. We got an intercept, and back comes Turks and Caicos. Hall out wide. Good covers, though, by Bonaire. Good transition defense for them. Jumping up into the play, Henfield tapers this one off, and that's going to be ruled offside. Far side official with the flag up. But at least a deep look for Turks and Caicos, and right there, Kaylee Hall. Plays with their club team, Flamingos FC. Interesting enough, both of these squads have players that compete on the same club team. So if you're thinking about some familiarity, you're sorely mistaken. There's a boatload of familiarity. Kaylee Hall's got a couple teammates on the opposite side of the pitch here tonight. Intercepted. Winjack. And she'll just let that thing roll out of bounds. Peters. Thode, nice move. Almost got taken out. Held her ground. Gideon Dixon almost took her out. No malice involved, but a poor pass. Here's Talbot. Talbot trying to switch the pitch. And she can't just yet. Turks and Caicos, though, with an opportunity to get this thing into the attacking area. See plenty of fans in attendance here tonight. It's a comfortable night with the breeze blowing out from east to west. Temperatures at first touch, 86 degrees. It's a little humid. Say that loosely, about 70% on the humidity scale. Pass intercepted, ping-ponged around. And now an opportunity for Turks and Caicos to recollect and work on the possession game. One thing that's been evident so far is Bonaire has been pressing the ball early on. You saw the motive right there by Thode. Janelle up front. Bonaire only playing with 3 in the back. And they are working with 4 forwards. So they're trying to attack here tonight and put a lot of pressure on Turks and Caicos to play their style of ball and field. Right concept. Only problem with that, though, Thode got in front of that. So nobody, at least for Bonaire and Turks and Caicos, has been ball dominant just yet. Delpine on the attempt, and this is the result in a throw-in. For Bonaire, they have no experience when it comes to this kind of setting. They're competing in their first ever women's national match. Turks and Caicos, they were a part of this a couple years ago. They're part of the qualification, the Concacaf World Cup. But again, limited experience, and it's part of the reason why both of these clubs on the bottom portion of these tiers, you look at other clubs around the world, the United States and Canada and Jamaica, upper echelon. Pass trying to get into a seam from Henfield. And this will result in a corner kick. The first one of the night for either squad. It'll be Turks and Caicos with the opportunity here. And there's Rose Engelhardt trying to direct a little bit of traffic with her back line. Zaria Talbot will take the corner kick. First set piece of the night for Turks and Caicos. We'll see how they manage. Alex Bealeader getting things right in the middle of the pitch. Looked like Mercero was in the middle of that. John just a little bit. Here's Talbot on service, working back post. No connection there. Delpin was the intended recipient. Teams almost rivaling each other in terms of how their shape unfolds this evening. When you're looking at players that need to be marked tonight, Kadeen Delpin is certainly one of them. And Janelle Thode the other for Bonaire. Well, one thing and anything in this contest, at least for both these squads, they haven't started off bad. Not flat. There's just not a lot of rhythm yet. But that's to be expected. Gotta imagine there's some nerves that are involved. And you're competing on a grand stage like this. You got plenty of eyeballs on you. And so now we have an opportunity. That one was played nicely away on the return, Butterfield. And she couldn't do anything with it. Into the 10th minute right now. There's not a whole lot of activity yet. 3 other games that were played today. And right now the show is all eyes on Bonaire and Turks and Caicos. Heavy pursuit here. Good job by Turks and Caicos to apply some elevated pressure. Hall trying to intercept. Nice move by Peters. As soon as I say that, intercepted. Peters trying to get it back. She can't. Here's Forbes. Forbes to Hall. Hall, nice little chip, but it goes right to Engelhardt. And she had the right idea, but off-footed like that, going with the weaker foot of the two. See, the level of accuracy is not as good as she'd like. The match continues to stay scoreless. See if Bonaire can flip the script a little bit. Number in Siana. Molina. Nice bit of movement here. Thode trying to get around one other defender. She could not. Thode actually makes the move there. She could be off to the races. Pretty good defense, though, on that back line being displayed so far by Turks and Caicos. Looks to be offside. Near side official with the flag up. Advisors might have been a step or two offside. Nevertheless, minute number 12, and Bonaire trying to threaten early on. See plenty of fans in attendance here tonight, and for a good reason. Just something different about the national setting. Players playing for their respective countries. Always brings out the best. And all about that national pride. Look like a couple players that did collide there. Cecilia for Bonaire. She appears to be okay. Akira. And that'll result in a goal kick. Just one shot so far for either side. Actually went to Turks and Caicos against Rose Engelhardt. Belize and Aruba playing today. Turks and Caicos right now trying to do anything to see some pressure and put it on Bonaire. Intercept here. And to get a good transition defense, this time being displayed. Thode over pursued that ball for just a moment. Gideon Dixon had that one go shanking off of a Turks and Caicos player. And that'll result in a throw-in for Bonaire. Well, the separation hasn't been great for Bonaire yet. But early on, they're trying to push it. Just that shot. Never had a real chance of going on goal. Ortiz with her first touch of the night. Ortiz, one of the few on a short list of players not affiliated with any kind of club team at the moment. Ping-ponged around and in the center of the park. Corralled and now controlled by Molina. Samantha out wide, tried to play it, intercepted again. And we got some possible numbers here. Though trying to break it on down. Nice stop by Ortiz, getting both paws out to push it to the right. Great job by Ortiz. Alert with the angle. Not putting that one back in harm's way. It could have been a fat rebound as we look back at the sequence again. Great pursuit. And Ortiz able to gobble up that shot from Emirion Siana. First corner kick of the night for Bonaire. Emirion Siana had a good look. Perhaps maybe pulling the trigger a little bit too early, but nevertheless, a shot on goal is not a bad thing. Molina tries to whip that ball in. Potentially trying to grab Ortiz off the mark. Cheating a little bit, not the case right now. So into the 16th minute. A little bit of traffic. Hasn't been one way either. See the possession right now being controlled slightly by Turks and Caicos Island. Poor pass, intercepted. See if this provides any kind of fruit for Bonaire. Just pushes that forward. Right-hand side, though, just could not get to it. That pass broken up. There was a window that was quickly closing. Turks and Caicos alertly on it. And now peeling all the way back, Peterson. This will result in a throw-in for Turks and Caicos. So some heavy activity on the offensive end for Bonaire as they get a good look at Delpin. Dean scoring the one goal in a qualifier a couple years ago for Turks and Caicos. Long throw-in. Didn't materialize into anything fruitful, and Delphine was looking for that ball in a better place. Did not come. And now all the way back. Ooh, that's a delicate spot there. And Sheck would have been off to the races had she intercepted that pass. Harvey gave it right back. I don't know if Jody was looking at somebody else when she was attempting to push this thing to the attacking third for Turks and Caicos, but nevertheless, unforced error there. We go on the turn. Everyone's looking for a burst coming out. Ortiz, good job fielding that ball and coming off her line quickly. Never want to err on the side of caution, so you want to be as aggressive as possible, and Ortiz was just that. Facing one shot so far from Emerenciana. Nice job by Engelhardt to come out as well. So Rose pushing it forward. Now leads into an opportunity. Into the attacking third. Emerenciana could not go around the defender, so she blows the tire. That'll result in a corner kick, though, for Bonaire. See the expression on the woman's face. Wanted a little bit more from her efforts. Did not materialize yet. Still a long way from halftime right now. It's from the 19th minute. Second corner kick, Ortiz. And again, this corner kick also tries to attempt that short side angle against Ortiz. She's not cheating one bit at all. But that's twice now that Molina has attempted that look. No bend in it. Results in a goal kick. And that's not what you want to see on a set piece like that. You want to give every opportunity you can to your teammates. Thode got in front of that bad pass. Weissers in the 18. She can't receive it, though. The give and take on the possession game. With Jenk. And that'll be a throw-in for Bonaire. So players trying to create, just not much materializing yet. One thing we haven't seen a lot of has been open space. Players on both sides, especially in the defensive end, have been quick to pressure the ball. just about halfway through this opening half. Bonaire and Turks and Caicos Island. First endeavor here in a brand new format. Concacaf Women's Gold Cup will conclude next year. A little bit of selling from Vicers. Emerenciana, who went down, asking for a call. Looks like we're going to have a free kick here. Take a peek at this again. I guess you can always review that once and then twice. And for good measure, Vicers who went down, it could have been either player that was awarded that free kick. Alex Bielitter ruling it on the first. This is probably the best set piece of the night for either squad, and Emerenciana will take the free kick. Pulls the trigger, goes over the wall. Ortiz off the crossbar, did not cross the line. Got to imagine that heart rate is awfully high right now for Ortiz. As we snap back at this, plenty of lift on the shot, and Ortiz pushing it loudly up off the crossbar, and you see it bounce right on that white line. Stays out, stays away. We are still scoreless. Great shot by Emerenciana. And the right lift on it to get not only over the wall, but high enough that Ortiz had to stretch out as high as she possibly can go just to push that thing off the crossbar. And she's lucky enough that that ball didn't ricochet off the crossbar, off of her and into the net. So that's the first grade A scoring opportunity for either side, and the end result was a shot right off the crossbar. See if Turks and Caicos can respond in any way. This one played inside the 18. Delicate opportunity here. Bonaire able to at least get it out of harm's way for the time being. Molina trying to switch it between two different players. And then Butterfield will send it right back. Not a great idea there from Butterfield. But we play on. So Emerenciana, just moments ago, the free kick from about 25 yards out. Goes off of Ortiz, off the crossbar, and it stays out. And we're still scoreless. You can see the fans in the stands on the far side. Getting much better than a bird's eye view of the action here tonight. Some of them even on the track, which is great because you're right there at field level to see this. I won't have that luxury when the settings change in 2024 because how the configuration will work out. Teams that do qualify deeper into the tournament will be playing in the United States, and some of the venues and stadiums much further out. Not going to afford fans the opportunity to be up close and personal, if you will. Harvey trying to do some body work there. Peters with a nice intercept. Player loose on the left-hand side. Great play, though. Gideon Dixon backtracking nicely, and the match still stays scoreless. Gideon Dixon came racing back for Turks and Caicos Islands. Did a fine job there, breaking out what would probably be the first goal of the match. It takes all 11, right? That'll be a cheap foul there. So Turks and Caicos had some chances early on, and then ever since it's been all Bonaire. If you're not familiar with the tournament format for the men, and you won't be with the women because this is brand new, but the format has a single round that's being played right now. Loose Ortiz let the thing cross the goal line. It'll result in a, well, they're going to say it's a corner kick. Let's swing back at this. That was plenty of contact inside the 18. Yeah, it didn't look like it went off a member of Turks and Caicos Island, so that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a corner kick here for Bonaire. Third one of the night for Bonaire. And in both instances, Molina tried to work in that near post. Well, that's a hard challenge there. Molina down in agony. That's going to result in our first booking of the night. And Talbot looking on in disgust. Molina not flopping there either. Talbot certainly got her money's worth. Ooh, that's a dangerous look. I mean, she's not even playing the ball. And Molina's certainly down in agony right now. Talbot taking a full swing and lining up Molina. You can only hope that she's okay. That's a terrible challenge. And now we'll see what Emerenciana does with this free kick. Previous attempt by her went sailing into the crossbar. Talbot's booking the first one of the night. Emerenciana, low line drive and skips like a rock on a pond towards Ortiz, and she'll gobble it up. Aradania, she's had plenty of work so far in this first half. We're in the 28th minute. It's been a one-sided affair. Trying to turn this thing around, though. Delphin can't do it. Bonaire back again. Now, for one instance, Turks and Caicos Islands was dominating the possession category, 56-44, but that has certainly changed around. See the fans here in attendance, the young, the old, and everybody in between enjoying the night. We hope you are as well. That'll go back to Bonaire. Turks and Caicos playing with 5 on the back line this evening. Kadeen Delphine, the only one up front, the true striker of the squad. And so although Turks and Caicos had a great deal of opportunity here in the first half of this opening contest, it's been all Bonaire ever since. And Kadeen just played that, what she thought was a vacant area. That was not the case either. Emerenciana hustling and trying to get to that, but Henfield was able to pick her off. Emerenciana, her club team, ATC. Got a handful of players for Bonaire with ATC. 7 of them, in fact. 30th minute. Just a friendly reminder at the end of this first half, we'll have stats. We'll have some highlights. Quick little chatter about what's going on in this contest. And we might have some time to take a peek around the rest of the Concacaf Women's World Cup stage to see who has played, who's done what so far, and also highlight a few figures competing tomorrow and over the weekend. We got business at hand right now. We got some questionable tactics on the far side. Delphine went down. Let's see if that was Molina. Looked like to be the case. Yeah, Molina twisting and tied up for a moment. And Mercera as well. Winchek was on the opposite side asking for the ball, but pass never came her way. So a couple special moments for Bonaire. And good looks towards target. Nothing else, though, for Turks and Caicos. See if they can flip the script. Almost a back-breaking turnover there. Engelhart and company got lucky. See if Bonaire and company can at least push this thing forward. Turks and Caicos trying to extend their back line. Everybody in the middle of the park right now. Turned over once and then twice. Back comes Bonaire. Thud was asking for it. She had a half a step on a defender. Wischek, nice move. Thud at the top of the box. Pieters with a nice spin move. Plays this one through. Ortiz does not let that thing bounce around. She goes there and chews it up. Well, the band plays on, right? Picked off. Back comes Bonaire. Ooh, trying to hurdle over a defender was Thode. .33rd minute. See that far side flag blowing right now. Always does help when the temperature's even at 86. You get some kind of breeze. Summer's no longer with us. Well, their manageable stop there for Ortiz. Who just bid. Not a major threat at all, but it's the third save of the night for Ortiz. We'd look back at it again. Again, these are all manageable without any of the threat in front of Ortiz. So it's one thing to concede a rebound goal. It's another one just to get beat on a good shot. Hasn't been the case yet. Throw it around. And Janelle just could not corral it. Can certainly hear the emotion of the fans. The friends and the family encouraging their players from their respective nations. At times that could be a little distracting, maybe increasing the anxiety, if you will. Pretty decent amount of fans that are able to pack inside here at Antonio Trinidad Stadium. This place holds about 1,500 folks, give or take a little bit. And of course, there's standing room only available. But here on the island of Bonaire, it's not the hardest area to get to, but I figure with the weather conditions right now, it's probably one of the better times to hang out for a week or a weekend. Nice play by Engelhardt to come out. Trying to play this thing through. Bonaire can't yet for a moment. Enfield had it. Fortunate that bounce went to a teammate. See that ball ricocheting around, and Turks and Caicos fortunate enough. Bonaire didn't go on an attack. 37th minute. Only had one yellow card so far. Chances have been tilted towards Bonaire. Shot advantage has also gone towards Bonaire. And quite frankly, they've looked like the better team. Not that Turks and Caicos has not played with any kind of inspiration. But Bonaire just been more aggressive on the ball. Better passing, and they've had quality shots. Ooh, good move. Unable to keep her footing. You got two players that are down, but Molina was quite creative in her tactic. Her move once around multiple defenders, and oddly enough called for that foul when she was in full possession for it. I'm not going to be in agreement with that. Medical staff comes out right now and talks to Williams. Chrisanne Williams needing a little bit of attention right now. Williams playing for SWA Sharks FC. It's her club affiliate. Turks and Caicos does not have a deep roster. They have 7 players on the sideline. Bonaire with 9. Williams appears to be okay. Shots right now favoring Bonaire 3-0. And Marinciana with a couple of them. Pfizer's with the other. It's the first real stoppage in terms of activity here tonight. So we'll find out what we get from the 4th official in terms of stoppage time allotted here in this first half. Again, depending on the outcome of this contest, both teams, regardless, will have a couple more opponents in their group. 4 of them in Group A. But everything is decided between full time. Nothing that goes on beyond that. Might be more familiar with other tournaments around the world that have things decided in penalties or in overtime. Not going to be the case. Especially with such a short window of competition too, right? Each team playing tonight on a Thursday, and then they'll rest for only a few days. They get back to work on Monday. Nice play. All there on the intercept. Butterfield. Decent amount of English on that ball, spinning all the way around the track. Turks and Caicos trying to develop something here. Provide some kind of spark. Butterfield's shot. The attempt anyway. Never had a chance to go on goal, but Engelhardt with a touch. Yeah, it's always important, too, for keepers to get into some kind of flow and rhythm. That means activity. Let's see Forbes being turned around just a little bit. That's all you need as a player when you're going full speed, right? Get thrown off your spot just by a hair. Here's Talbot. Talbot with the yellow card tonight. Good look, but Engelhardt reading it all the way. She'll have to do better than that. The velocity is one thing, but having a shot from so far out, you're looking at 35 yards potentially. You're going to need something that either skipping or potentially bending in from all the way outside. And now Forbes limping around a little bit. Nice stutter. Thode. See if she gets this back from Molina. That's not going to be the case. She tried firing it in between the seam to Emerenciana. Get the idea, but just a narrow path to take. 44th minute. And we'll keep an eye on the fourth official. Engelhardt, major hesitation on a dead giveaway. Hall, top of the box. She did not put that thing towards target. Maybe she should have. Delphine takes the strike right on goal. I wonder if that's Hall that's down on the deck, and that's exactly the case. Hall asking for some medical attention. Let's look back and see what this happened. Oh, she took a shot high and low. Ujis is the one that struck her. Terrible. Now she gets back to her feet, and she's appearing to be okay. That's a great sign for Turks and Caicos Island. looking for was Thode. Moving around. A couple minutes of stoppage time allotted here. Intercepted Forbes. Back to midfield. Well, Turks and Caicos not playing with any kind of sense of urgency at the moment, shockingly enough. So we have time winding down here in this opening half. Alex B. Leader looking at her watch. And then Engelhardt here settling it down, and we'll pause on the action right now because we've reached the end of the first half. Bonaire certainly had the one-sided advantage in this opening 45 minutes of competition. 3 shots on goal. Aradania Ortiz, though, has been tall to the task at the moment. And 45 minutes in the books here. League C, Group A, Bonaire and Turks and Caicos. No score at the end of the first half of play. And we were back ready to get the second half underway. Bonaire and Turks and Caicos Islands. No score just yet. Plenty of opportunities, especially for Bonaire in the first 45 of competition. We'll see if Turks and Caicos Islands turns the page, if you will, and makes some adjustments here in the second half. Don't have any substitutions just yet. Bonaire will be moving now from right to left on your screen. White kits, Turks and Caicos in the aqua. The dark blue will be moving from left to right. In terms of what kind of adjustments can be made for both squads, I figure for Bonaire, keep doing what they're doing, but also improve the precision on their passing, especially when they were in the attacking third. Attacking third, it looked like there was just too much one-on-one ball that was being played. But you have players that are out wide flanking the defense of Turks and Caicos. If they can seize those opportunities with open players, should provide plenty of fruit. For Turks and Caicos, they just need to do more on the front foot. They've been defending for the better portion of that opening half, and because of that, they conceded some grade A scoring opportunities for Bonaire. It's a difficult challenge there. Tumbling down as we have a free kick just outside the 18. A hard hit, though, as Vicers went down. She had one shot in the first half. Emerenciana with the other two. It's a big body blow right there by Butterfield, just putting those hips into the back of Vicers. Molina will take it, low line drive. That thing never had a chance. It's one of the things that Molina did not do well in the first half was she had two corner kicks on the far side of the pitch, and she elected to try to whip those in on the short side of Engelhart. Peeled back and cleared. So we're thinking about what kind of adjustments can be made. And we'll see if any of them are done. Again, much like the men's side of things, the Concacaf go for gold, and how everything is broken down. 45 minutes first half, 45 minutes second half. And that's it. Full time is reached. And then we are done. Both teams going to be playing on Monday. Played through for a moment. Taken away. Bonaire on the attack, and then that one given away. Wischek volleyed around. Turks and Caicos a chance here now to gobble up some possession time. Enfield. Jade playing her ball with Eagles Football Club, her affiliate. Let's see the far side official ruling that going towards Bonaire. And while we got a moment, can certainly do take a peek at what's going on. Shot total so far. 4 of them for Bonaire. Talbot with a lone shot on goal for Turks and Caicos. Emerenciana gave it up. A little one hopper here. Ortiz on the stop. She was busy in that first half. Did exceptionally well, too, with the rebound and control, which is always important. Trying to hustle. Good body positioning right there by Jody Harvey. One thing, at least with Turks and Caicos, they haven't been in a great deal of panic. That's a difficult challenge. See where that foul did occur, though, as Talbot, she had a yellow card in the first half, and it looks like she might pick what? No, she will not, at least for the time being. I am utterly shocked that Talbot did not get a second yellow card there. Number in Siana, who's down on the deck right now, and she is in some agony. You be the judge. That's, to me, that's a clear yellow card. Talbot might be a little frustrated with that, thinking it's a 50-50 ball. Spikes up, though. Emerenciana, who went down. Talbot wasn't really playing the ball, even though it was 50-50. So this is a huge break, though, for Turks and Caicos, at least for the time being. Emerenciana, I don't know if she was cramping up after the fact, but you can see the frustration. That body language says it all. Captain not looking pleased, but we'll see if she can return. And now a free kick just outside the 18. Certainly not a desirable angle. See how this materializes. Ortiz, that back post, they never had any kind of drop on it. Poor display there. Don't know if the idea was looking for BB wins check on the opposite end. Emerenciana back on the pitch. Nathaniela, who does return. Probably the focal point of the attack for Bonaire. Emerenciana tried feeding a streaking Thode. Janelle couldn't get to it. Getters has it now, though. Nice move. Getters around two defenders. Can't get around the third, though. Great look. Harvey there to nullify it, though. And there's a reason why she's a captain. That as sturdy as one can be as we take a look at the activity. Great job by Harvey. Not sitting back either. Can't do that as a defender. If you do that, you're dead meat. And she wasted no time either. Talbot playing on a yellow card. Shots right now continue to be 4-1 in favor of Bonaire. A lot of physical activity, 9 combined fouls. Turks and Caicos with 5, Bonaire with 4 of them. Certainly don't want to say this has been an evenly played match. But when you look at the figures, it hasn't been all that tilted in one direction or the other. Easy save for Ortiz, just waiting for that thing to get into her. And again, it's one thing to put a shot on goal, but it's another to do it with any kind of expectation that you can either score or have a rebound materialize from it. Ooh, difficult challenge there. Nice play, though, by Talbot this time. Playing the ball first. Talbot, Emmer, and Siana converging early on in the first half and more here in the second half. Great activity. Let's see if that ball stayed in play. Did it? And now it has enough English. Emmer and Siana just letting it tightrope walk that sideline ever so gingerly. Ooh, Ortiz with some trouble handling that ball. For as well as she's played, you'd hate to have her concede something on a mistake, a mental gap. Bang of the drums here in Bonaire. Hometown faithful pleading on to see if they can ignite their team's offense. Vicers. There'll be another throw-in. Yeah, it is slowly trended up towards Bonaire ever since the 15th minute. And it's been all Bonaire ever since. This is a clean look. The top of the box. Nice convergence, though, by that back line again. And those Talbot getting in the middle of all of it. As we mentioned, this is an inaugural look at the pursuit for the Women's Gold Cup in Concacaf. First ever endeavor. A lot of action yesterday. Grenada hammered Bahamas 6-1. And unfortunately, we've had some one-sided tilts. It is early, but we're primarily looking at League C for the time being. El Salvador shut out Nicaragua 3-0. They did most of their damage in the first half. Honduras also prevailed. They won earlier as well. So we'll definitely get you some real-time standings in League C. Belize has already won. They beat Aruba. They beat them by a score of 2-0 at FFB Stadium. Belize and Bonaire will play on Monday. Turks and Caicos will play Aruba on Monday as well. They'll play back-to-back settings, 4 o'clock and 9:30 respectively. And then after that, these clubs will have some time off. They won't get back to work as national teams until the tail end of October. So you play, you stop, you play, you stop, and then as soon as we get in October, things will certainly take off. They'll play a decent amount of games from League A, B, and C in October all the way to December, and then we turn the calendar into the brand new year. And that was the intended goal of all this. 61st minute here. First change of the night. I'm going to go towards Turks and Caicos. Looks like Kaylee Hall's going to enter the fray. Hall will replace Williams, who comes out. First change is a seat at the top. See if there's any kind of change in the flow so far for Turks and Caicos. Look like spikes up for Hall. Nothing called though. See if we got a member down for Bonaire. Yeah, that is exactly the case. Mercera, who was on the deck in the first half, she took a hard charge in the first 20 minutes of this contest. Now back down on her backside. Didn't get a great look at the activity and see how she went down or what it was. We'll revert back. Getting you up to speed here in the 63rd minute. Shots 4-1 in favor of Bonaire. Looks like Mercera's okay. And to get you familiar too with any kind of victory tonight for either squad, get 3 points. So it's obviously a high priority. Something developing here for Bonaire? No, not yet. Harvey again on the disrupt. Doesn't mess around, does she? Shockingly enough, around all the group stages for League A, B, and C, doesn't look like we had anything that's gone into a draw yet, which is always great. You want some kind of result, right? So that's the other thing that comes into play too when you're looking at group competition. Accumulating as many points as possible is priority number one. draws is another, so you're at least getting a point. But if you lose, you want to make sure the goal differential is not something that's a wide gap. And get players colliding yet again. Forbes looking on, some disgust. While Bonaire's had the advantage tactically speaking, Turks and Caicos has played with a great deal of physicality in this contest. And Molina has found herself on the ground numerous times. '66 minute. Played through. Emerencia tried fighting for it, could not control it. Bonaire, though, smelling something. You do figure that there'll be a moment in this match, especially as we get later on in the second half, that Bonaire is going to be able to crack the code. They've just been the more aggressor team. You feel like reward's going to come at some point. Anne Rear coming in. That's the first substitution of the contest now for Bonaire. Each team now making a change. Ooh, a very vicious approach, and that's going to result in a yellow card. Emerencia came charging in like a bull, and that's certainly a booking that she's going to get every single time, especially here in the 68th minute. That is a blatant attempt to take somebody out, and she knew it. The only upside in an attempt like that is if she gets the ball first. She's got a great look towards target, but you're asking a whole lot. Slight concession there is Gideon Dixon, who played well in the first half defensively, walking off the pitch. Much the same too, and a little careless on the other end for Turks and Caicos defensively. Yeah, if you're Aaron Lawrence, the head coach of Turks and Caicos, you got to do something that might result in changing more personnel. Started with 5 on the back line, and they played like it for large chunks of this contest. Another challenge and another hard one. So the physicality has certainly been ramped up. Siana just moments ago. Butterfield here with the yellow card. So while the chances haven't been mounting for either side, the physicality, the fouls, and now the bookings have been ratcheted up. You know, if you're going to commit a foul, you might as well do it right. This isn't in the area of a red card, but I mean, you can see the clear disgust from Weissers. I mean, she's fortunate enough, too, that she didn't spike Butterfield, because otherwise she probably would have had a yellow card in return. Let's find out what we have here. Just Ortiz comes out. Nice. Some special moments I can imagine are going to happen for Bonaire because they've worked hard. That's the one obvious thing in this contest. They've worked hard for possession, and they've also created some chances towards target. But Ariadania Ortiz has played well. Dead giveaway here. And you can feel the environment just being ratcheted up because of the physicality. As we're here in the 73rd minute, it's a great sign to see. But back around. Or Sarah appears to be okay now, and she's walking around with a slight little limp. And she was taken out a few moments ago. Kaylee Hall would love to have that one back. Again, nice move going down Weissers. Thode. Thode had an opportunity to play that one inside the 18. Elected not to do so. Taken away by a moment. Bonaire got it back though. And now pinballing around a little bit. 75th minute. With all the hard challenges here in the second half, got to imagine we're going to have anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes worth of stoppage time. We got another yellow card here. Oh my, Siana, she called for the yellow card. It's her second one of the night, and her night is over with. Wow. Puzzled by this, not because of the yellow card. Siana certainly did earn that booking there, so she's done for the night. And she knows it. However, Talbot on the other end for Turks and Caicos, she had committed 2 extremely hard fouls, one in the first half that gave her a yellow card, and another one here in the second half, and she wasn't given her second yellow. And the body language says it all from the captain, right? Gives up her badge and now walking off the pitch in disgust. That's unfortunate for her. She played well. She played really well, creating some chances, but she had 2 really challenging moments. One of them, a shot that went off the crossbar, off of Ortiz, and then off the crossbar on a free kick. And another one, she was trying to play onto the ball, a pass that was intended for her inside the 18, and she came charging in, spikes up all the way. And she was immediately called for a yellow. Now we'll see if this means a whole heck of a lot for Turks and Caicos, though. The reason why I say that is because they've done little to nothing with the ball. They haven't been on it. Turnover here for Engelhardt. Looked to be offside. That's exactly the case. Enfield just a little bit too overzealous on her approach. '78th minute. Played through, trying to find a seam. Wow. Ball that nearly had eyes going all the way through, and though there, looking for some magic. As Janelle did about as good as she can do on this. You with the left foot, 1, 2, 3, and a 4th defender. Molina, high arcing, Ortiz on the goal line again, it stays away. She's climbed the ladder several times tonight. Great job there for Ortiz. Big stop. And Molina, who has tried that on 2 separate occasions tonight, bending this one in from the corner. That one was exactly what she wanted to do. Much better accuracy, and of course, you're going to test a keeper that's not even close to 6 feet tall. See what kind of athleticism she has, and the same token, see if Molina's got enough bend in her game. She tried hooking that in. She won't be able to do that here. Bending away. 81st minute. Aradania Ortiz in net for Turks and Caicos. Definitely the woman of the match so far. She's been brilliant in net. A great stop there against Molina. Did so earlier against Emerenciana twice on 2 different occasions. And the match continues to stay scoreless. Keep in mind, too, if you're just joining us, Bonaire playing down a player. Emerenciana picked up a yellow card in the first half and a second one and a red card here in half number 2. Some physicality. That one looked like it pinballed off. Harvey able to retreat and get it. Nice job by Jody. And now I get 2 changes here for Bonaire. PR Cornelia coming into the contest. And then Marcelia as well. Merceria out, Cornelia in. Far set official with the flag up. Visor's night is over with as Marcelia comes in for her. You're looking at what Bonaire has done tonight as we're now in the 84th minute. They have created, they've taken shots on target. They've gotten all their playmakers involved. And the only thing they have not had yet is a payoff. Ooh, nice spin move. With just a shot looking for a corner, couldn't pick it. Now we got an injured player down for Turks and Caicos. Let's see exactly who that was. Could be a deal with the cramp. So we look at the strike from Hilda. Not enough accuracy on that. Limp it off the turf. That's not a good sign there for Kaylee Hall. Haley asking for a little bit of medical attention. So a couple injured players for Turks and Caicos Island. Bonaire playing down a player. Their captain, Daniela Amaranciana. The captain out with a couple of yellow cards. Turks and Caicos has not been able to capitalize on playing up a player. In fact, they haven't even had a shot on goal here in the second half. You look at the total so far has been one-sided. Shots 8-1 in favor of Bonaire. Turks and Caicos. The one shot from Talbot was in the first half. Thode goes down. You can see her grimacing, and wonder if she's cramping up a bit. Yeah, that's exactly the case there. Yeah, you feel bad too because there's nothing you do about it. Just the temperature. Kickoff 86 degrees. Plus the humidity, plus you're running around the track all night. Not to say that she's not hydrated, but you can only take so much. And it looks like she's coming off the turf. See if she can walk this off. Thode's played well. I mean, look at everyone that's made an impact in this contest for Bonaire. Thode, Amaranciana, 2 players. Weiser's another that's been crafty. Molina, the other one, who has 3 shots in this contest, and oddly enough, all 3 shots have been on corner kicks. Another change here for Turks and Caicos. Delancey coming in. Dauphine comes out. That's the one change. Merlin also coming in now. Dorostine. '90th minute, and we'll keep an eye on our 4th official tonight. See what kind of stoppage time we're allotted. There's been a great deal of stop and go action in the second half. I would probably guesstimate, yeah, there you go, 5 minutes of stoppage time. Admittedly, I was going to say 7, but time and place for everything. We'll walk right into that. So 5 minutes of stoppage time. Conclusion of this match. We'll take a look at the full-time highlights and some stats. Again, both these teams will be playing on Monday. So get a little bit of rest and recuperation. Played away as Molina was in pursuit. Don't see Tho just yet. Albert's also in right now. See Junice. Albert's lost it, almost committed the foul. That's a hard challenge there into the boundary. Talbot somehow won that possession. Looked like, in fact, it went off of Talbot. She's played an extremely aggressive contest. Jostling around, Molina just couldn't get to it. Getting 5 minutes of stoppage time allotted here. Losing it, twisting and turning, rear. Backtracking in heavy pursuit, Cecilia. Even called her number tonight. That's how inactive the back line for Bonaire has been for the majority of this contest. We talked about Akira once in the first half. Blair's jostling for position there on the far boundary. Well, it's not like both teams aren't fighting for it, but just one has been more aggressive on the offensive category. And Ortiz just going to pounce on this again. So 8 shots in this affair for Bonaire, just 1 for Turks and Caicos. That one would have been close to being offside for Alberts. Played through nicely, but coming out is Ortiz again. Great play by the keeper. When you're in rhythm like this and you're seeing a lot of action, it gives you a better feel for the game. So this ball that was played through and Cornelia charging, Ortiz out to nullify it. Turks and Caicos playing up a player. Amarancia. 2 yellow cards. Well, that would have been a nightmare conclusion if Engelhardt would have gotten beat. We'll see if there's one final push here for Bonaire. Again, both teams play on Monday. Turks and Caicos do have the numbers, but just not a lot of passion offensively to play with the ball and to do anything with it. Alex Belitter looking at her watch. Imagine one final attempt here for Turks and Caicos, and that'll be that. Weak, lofty throw-in, and that's going to do it. We've reached full time. So Bonaire desired a lot more, I'd say, in terms of offensive excellence. They certainly tried. They made the most of their efforts. One shot going off the crossbar. 10 shots in total. They outshot Turks and Caicos 10-1, but reaching full time here in League C Group A. Bonaire and Turks and Caicos played to a 1-1, a scoreless draw in their first game. Shots 10-1 in favor of Bonaire, but the big hurt, Emerenciana, the red card, she won't be able to play in the next match. So she's out. It was a physical contest. All in all, 15 total fouls, handful of yellow cards. 3 of them, in fact. But you got to give more credit to Bonaire here tonight. They actually felt like they tried to win this contest. They went after it as opposed to just settling back. And Turks and Caicos, yeah, they got their feet wet in the Concacaf. Nothing wrong with that. It's nothing to hang their head about. But Bonaire, got to imagine they feel a little disgruntled and they get more out of this than what they desired. So we have stats and highlights right around the corner as we've reached full time in a scoreless draw. So we reach full time. All the highlights right now is this contest between Turks and Caicos versus Bonaire. A lot of action the first 45 minutes of action. Emerenciana, the captain of the squad for Bonaire, had numerous opportunities towards target. The first one denied by Ortiz. The second one here on the free kick goes off her fingertips, glaring off that crossbar, hitting it flush, then coming right back, and Ortiz was able to pounce on it. 45 minutes were in the books, and the match was scoreless, but not before the effort from Emerenciana, who made a couple of great attempts. That yellow card right there from Talbot, she had a couple hard challenges on the night. That first one resulted in a booking, and as the night continued on, the chances continued to pour in from Bonaire, but Aridania Ortiz was tall to the task in this one. She made 10 saves in the contest, and all in all, an impressive night for a clean sheet. On the other side of the ledger, Emerenciana who picked up not one but 2 yellow cards. Both yellow cards actually coming in the second half, resulting in that disqualification. She is done for the night and also not able to play on Monday as well. Really left a gaping hole in the middle of the pitch for Bonaire. You see the first yellow card, Emeranciana, just, you can't have that happen. Tactically speaking, you come charging in like that, you are stuck because you're fully committed. So that yellow card was the first of the night for her, but she'd pick up another one moments after that. But the physicality is Emeranciana. You're figuring a yellow card is going to be something that's worthwhile, right? Well, it wasn't the case there, and she picked up the second one, and she knew she was done for the evening. So a frustrating second half for her when it boded so well in the first 45, and that really took a lot of the wind out of the sail, if you will, of Bonaire. But Ortiz busy again here in the second half. Another big stop on the goal line. She earns a clean sheet. All in all, picking up a point for Turks Caicos. They play in a scoreless draw with Bonaire. Hope you enjoyed this one. Both these teams will play again on Monday. We have plenty of action, though, with the Concacaf Women's Pursuit to the Gold Cup. More action tomorrow and over the weekend as well. Hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great night, everyone. So long.